was just out on a shopping trip. I ran out of macaroni, so I went to grab a few more bags. I used to have a much wider range of choices when it came to food, but now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too. Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Oh, sounds like you're really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity! It's not like I have a very eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are. Besides, I'm sure I could master dishes like letrofosilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Ah, there it is. You don't know how to cook.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clap...
Sorry! We're sorry! Please don't be mad! Yeah, exactly! What the traveler said! Paimon wasn't... Hang on a sec! You weren't exactly holding back either!
My help? Well... Maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Don't worry, it's nothing that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help!
Oh? Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now. So tell me, what specifically makes this matter so...
I just wasn't expecting a whole ass farmer in here.
I see.
Do they?
I knew you couldn't have come all this way just to amuse yourselves at my
I'm not
expense.
sure.
After
I
all,
think so.
I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities. But given the present circumstances,
Are you
I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
How come? It sounds like...
True, but I have made a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character has left an indelible mark on me. Centuries of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again. But at least I can say that I no longer desire to play any...
Paimon can understand, but this is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Sure.
Whether it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross. If I make an exception to the rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself. So I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out? Do you know any other actors who might be interested in...
Nope.
Short and to the point.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships. Besides, since I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go ask. True, but I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for? Ooh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking.
Well, is there
Have I not made myself clear? You're barking up the wrong tree. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will... Yeah, I guess that's all we can do now.
Toodaloo to you, too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
It's too bad, but but we have to respect Furina's decision.
Yay!
Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Exactly. But none of them believed me.
Huh?
You guys
What's
absolutely
going on? Are they
know.
arguing?
Kind of like the look of it.
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent?
You didn't need to say it. We've known each other for how long now? We know the song.
And that gives you the right to make a decision on my behalf?
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. Excuse me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now?
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little
Sadly, it's a no from her. We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having.
I see. Well, you see, our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all.
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then. Yeah, she'd be livid. We'd get.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really?
Only joking. Calm down. So, despite the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our.
Look, there's no point arguing. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up, so, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting.
Yes, I'm completely confident. I've been taking a new medication from the doctor, and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance. I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe. Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried.
All's well that ends well. Sounds like the show will go on. Sure.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on my shopping. All right, I'm coming. No need to drag me. Hello, one and all.
Furina?
I was just ever so slightly when you came to talk with me earlier. I jumped right to explaining my position, and all before I even had a full grasp. I'm sorry, Paimon.
Oh, it's totally fine. Paimon didn't take any of that personal.
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you? I felt very sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me. But in any case, it sounds like...
Yeah. When they said...
There's no need to think like that. And no need to keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine. I was wondering, if this troupe is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband? If the difficulties are purely financial, then there must be a solution. Everyone seems so devoted to the troupe. I'm sure...
We all want to believe that. Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director.
Her name was O'Reilly, and she was the founder as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in the serial disappearances.
What?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice.
I was waiting for that one.
But still, no sentence can bring our director back to us.
She was a loyal fan of your performances, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get... She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be...
And then disaster struck.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray. None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. It's agonizing.
Oh.
What a terrible waste. a gifted artist from humble... I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift.
Yes, exactly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After... I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for myself. I can, however, provide some artistic guidance, but only if you feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant.
I don't need any compensation. All I'd ask in return, if you're something I've begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epiclese, is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from... The law only judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of... What about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to that? An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return. Take, par exemple, how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before. And so I should...
Still a fan of your... You just want to get back in on the act.
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine.
Would you be willing to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are. All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space.
Lady Furina?
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid. These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They cut.
You bet! That was the
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice.
Oh, please don't mention it.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete it. So, if we can bring it to the...
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Yeah, we've been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this. The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form. Despite the protests of her family, she longed to live just like any other human. But one day, her true identity would...
So far, so good. A classic tale.
That's one of the issues we've been trying to deal with. Unfortunately, we need a proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But...
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a...
By true to life, you mean...
yeah, like they said. But then there's the question of whether we really want to use the stage to pass our raw...
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. And one last thing. We're still waiting. The first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script. The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He did write to us, promising that he'll be...
Although, Now that we have Miss Furina help,
What opportunity?
maybe you're unaware.
Our director was constantly singing your praises.
Stop! You're making me all flustered. Although, not in a I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that that one by one, all the obstacles are being.
Makes sense. Okay, he went back to Poisson a few days ago. Said that staying in a friend's home.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago.
Yeah, maybe you could use...
Poisson. Nothing. I suppose my presence. So, allons-y. To.
If I remember correctly, this is where he's staying.
Who is it?
It's me. Is that...
You came all the way.
All right. Forget...
Nice try. Look, just
Okay, then.
So, as expected, he's missed the.
The ending is one of. Even once he's done, it isn't.
Someone told me they'd just seen you in Poisson. I assumed it was a case of mistaken identity, but sure enough, here you are. And Furina, too.
I was wondering if we might run into her.
So you're here for Palo? Looks like you could be a while, so feel free to take a stroll around town in the meantime.
Oh, it's okay. We can just wait here.
Thank you for being so considerate, Miss Navia. That sounds wonderful. Get over here, you! How oblivious are you?
How are things in Poisson now? Any better?
Things are on the mend, but it's a slow process. Some people may never recover from the trauma they experienced.
I'm sorry to hear that. I wish there was something I could do.
Please, must our conversations take such a depressing turn every time we meet? We all have painful memories, but we don't have to let them cloud everything we do. And if you're trying to make a new start, perhaps it's best if you don't bring up the past all the time.
Thank you for your words of comfort. You make a very good point. But for now, at least, I think I should stay with the way I'm feeling for a while longer.
It's okay. These things take time. Moving on from a painful experience is easier said than done, which brings me to why I'm here. I thought you should probably know that not everyone here is ready to forgive and forget after the Hydro Archon's inaction in the face of catastrophe. To avoid upsetting the peace, I told the townspeople that everyone here is a member of the theater troupe, and that you are just an actress playing the role of Furina. It's not a perfect solution, but hopefully it means you won't have to lie low while you're here.
That's so thoughtful of...
Well, what do you expect? I am the courageous and considerate president of Spina di Rosula, after all. Like my Anyway, that was all. Look after her now.
Off we go then. Let's take a look up there. I don't have any friends that I can be frank and honest with, so maybe she's right. You're the closest thing to friends that I have.
So,